I've been seeing on the television the Paris-Hilton's gone to jail. Well, it ain't right. She's a goddamn fine woman. She's pretty as my little gal, what's her name? I forget her name. Anyway, I loved her. I loved her real big. I met her at the crack house, but she was real pretty. She was waiting to score. I says to her, I can score for you. You don't need to wait around here. Come on down my house. Took her down my house. We were riding back on the bicycle. She's sitting on my seat. I got my arms around her real nice. God damn, she was pretty. 23 years old. Young woman. Thought I had lots of dope, but I never. But my cousin down the road, he's got a little laboratory set up, and took her over there, got her fixed up real good. She didn't want crack. She wanted heroines. Anyway, she was working as one of them things that you put in the plugs, the receptionist. I says, you like your job? 'Cause I didn't figure jobs was good for nobody. So I figures, she says to me, I got a bad boss. He keeps touching me up. And I say, so I go down there the next day, blowed him right away. He ain't going to be touching no pretty gals anymore. Anyways, we was living together for a while, but when the drugs ran out, she didn't cotton to me no more. She wanted me to give her money. Well, I'll never give woman no money, no how, no reason, no way. I just gives them lots of loving. That's what they really wants. But this one, she wanted to go out and crack it on the streets. But I figured, well, why not? You know, it's a enterprise, a legitimate enterprise. And she said, but when I go up to the cracking suburbs, the gals chase me away. So I said, well, figure you start hitchhiking by the side of the road. You pick up a fella, then you kind of snuggle up to him and ask him for $20 or whatever. So she says, okay, but we got to have a place to bring him back. So I says, come around to my place. I'll be sitting in the next room. So I got me a job. I sit there with the big baseball bat that I got from that shortstop fella when I was in Atlanta Braves. Anyway, it's a real good bat. It's an old wooden one. Ain't like them aluminum ones. The wooden ones was best for hitting heads. Anyway, I sit in the next room. I becomes what's called a sitter. Now, I weren't no pimp. I never took nothing from her. Only about 10% of the dope she was getting. So I figures that's a legitimate occupation. I sit in the room next door. Any fella give her trouble, I hit him on the head. I run in and hit him on the head. But they don't know I'm there, see? So anyway, but she had a lot of nice fellas. They took her out to fancy restaurants and everything, and they didn't do her no harm. Who's that coming into my house? Better not come here, motherfucker. I'll shoot you fucking dead. Anyway, I was sitting in the room, but they were nice fellas. They took her out for store-bought meals, and the first time I ever tasted crab and lobster was when she bring me back a doggy bag. She loved me real big for a while, but didn't last. And she found a fellow with a real big slong, and it was Tony Marino or something. He was from Australia, and he had a big slong. Not that matters with a gal. Some gals like little ones. That depends what you do with the spot that they say, gee. But then she left me, and all I had left was the little satin wrap that she used to wear, and I used to cuddle that every night. And I got a good relationship going now with that satin wrap. I don't have to do nothing to please it. Anyway, she left me and Tony Marine, and then she went to Billy Lockery. Billy Lockery was the bank robber, but he was a real nice fellow. She snuck into his house one day trying to steal his dope. He caught her, but he never beat her. Then she lived with him for a while, and then I heard that she passed away because she went to a rehabilitation clinic, but they use the brainwashing techniques like the Oddessy-House does, and she couldn't stand that, and I think she done killed herself. And I'll send up psychic prayers to her in the spirit world, and I'll give her a little cuddle now and again, but shit, it ain't real. Once you're dead, you're dead. Anyways, I figure, Paris-Hilton, I'm going to come marry you. I'll save you from that money and all that publicity shit. You come down here to my little houseboat. And you won't have to worry about no damn publicity hounds and money and all that money and all that money and all that money. You don't have to worry about that. 'Cause I can get on with any woman, no matter what age, even from tiniest little teenager up to an old woman, 'cause I know where the G-spot is, and every time I find it, they say, gee, goddamn, gee, that's good. So I figure that's the right spot, but I always had a good relationship with women's. Ever since my mama used to let me sleep with her. She taught me I won't go into that, all right. There's a lot of kids watching. I don't want you to think I'm a prevert or some of them molestations. But I just want to say, lay off Paris-Hilton. She's a damn fine woman. And any of her friends out there, give them the computer thing where you find a fella. Somebody's coming. I better get my gun.